Hey guys, how's it going? So for the last few days, I have been playing the game Airborne Empire. Big thanks to the Wandering Band, the developers of this awesome game, for giving me some early access to it to be able to play it and put together this little video showcasing some of the features of the game and talking about it. Now, I wasn't very familiar with the developers or their previous game, Airborne Kingdom. I had seen a little bit about it, but I really didn't know much about it. But I jumped in, and let me tell you, I was absolutely addicted. My first night playing it, 4 hours went by in a flash, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, I can't believe it's been 4 hours already, and I just wanted more. It's such a fun game. So Airborne Empire, it's a open world RPG city builder kind of thing. In the game, you build and manage and you grow a unique city that's actually in the skies. It's a floating, flying city. You fly all around the map. It's really cool. You traverse a huge open world that's full of all kinds of dangers like pirates and stuff. There's some really cool exotic wonders that I have found in the game, and there's lots of hidden treasures that you can find. So it's really just an explore, find things, and build your city at the same time. And sometimes you even have to defend other kingdoms. There are other kingdoms on the ground that you have to go and defend from the pirates and help them out with stuff. There's a lot of different biomes across the map. Now, in the demo that I had, I could only do the, let's just call it the temperate zone. I could only view the temperate zone, but I could see off in the distance, I could see at least a desert biome in the distance and everything that you can go and explore. And the world map is absolutely huge. I would say that in my 4 hours of playing the game, the first night, I probably explored less than 10% of the map. It's absolutely massive world and everything to explore. It's really cool looking. The world isn't like dead either. It's really full of characters and lots of dialogue choices, side quests, the main quest, lost marvels and technologies you can find everywhere. By helping the people below on the ground, you actually gain knowledge from them to develop even more technologies. So there's like a whole technology tree and everything, but the majority of it is locked, and you actually have to go in and do quests and stuff for people to unlock different technologies, or you can buy the technologies from the academies that you'll find at various major cities. And those blueprints and stuff from the academies, they cost coin, and the coin you can get from selling goods or exploring ancient ruins and finding coins in them and stuff like that. So it's really interconnected, and it really pushes you to move around the map and explore and find these lost ancient ruins that you can explore, find new cities, see what their academies have, things like that. The game has like full mechanical systems for buildings and building upgrades, fires, illnesses and sicknesses, injuries, a whole light system that's related to injuries and everything. If you don't have enough light on your city and there's dark areas of your city, people can get hurt. They can even fall off of the flying city and die, and you'll lose them as, you know, citizens and everything. So you have to make sure to keep your people safe and everything. There's a whole morale system and everything, and there's also relics that you can find. I've never found any of those relics in my playthrough, but I know they are out there. So part of the premise of Airborne Empire is that the world that this is set in is actually populated by birds that walk and talk and everything like that, and they're so much fun. The writing and everything and the dialogue is really whimsical and really fun, and I actually enjoyed reading all the different dialogue options. It was really cool learning about the histories of the different towns and cities you went to, and kind of starting piecing together what happened in this world. The Airborne Empires used to be these massive floating cities that covered the entire world and everything, and something had happened in the past that destroyed them all, and somehow or another you have found like the last remaining piece of an airborne city and brought it back into the sky, and you're rebuilding it essentially. So the city building aspect of the game is again based around your flying city, And there are mechanics such as tilt that you have to deal with. That you can't build too much on one side or another, or front or back, and there are front, back, left, and right, and it's dictated by the main building in the center, the town center of the city, and it does have an obvious front and back to it. That way you know where you're placing stuff. So you have to spread out the weight of buildings as you're building stuff and compensate for tilt and everything. Because if it tilts too much, people will actually start falling off of it and everything. So you don't want tilt. There's also a lift mechanic. Buildings have weight to them, and you have to have enough lift in your city in order to support the weight of more buildings. Now, lift is achieved by things like fans and upgrades to those fans and to the town center fan and things like that. I didn't see a lot of it because I could only go through a small part of the game, so I know there's going to be a lot more stuff later on to achieve more lift because there's a lot of stuff locked in the tech tree still. And then there's also propulsion. Starting out, your city is very slow to move around, but eventually you find things like oars, which you can see it right here on the screen. It's actually really, really fun watching, your big giant flying city going through the air, and then there's just, oars off to the side pushing it along with the wind. It's really fun. There's also propellers. I didn't get to those in the game, but I know there are propellers that use up fuel and stuff like that make it go faster, but it uses fuel, whereas oars don't use fuel and they're a little bit slower. But I found that with 3 sets of oars on each side of the city, I was able to go relatively quickly around the map and everything. So I was really enjoying that aspect of, trying to figure out how to lay everything out to keep the balance and the tilt and deal with the lift and make sure my city could stay up in the air, as well as pushing it forward even faster. Now, there's a whole resource gathering mechanic to the game as well, and the resource gathering mechanic is based around wood for construction, iron ore to create steel, cotton, which creates cloth. There is crystal for glass. However, I don't think there's any crystal or anything on the main temperate area that you start in. That probably is the next area. So any glass you need, you actually have to buy that from markets and stuff that you come across. There's also coal. Coal is one of the more important things because coal is used to fuel your city and provide the lift. If you run out of coal, your city will crash and burn. And then there's also food and water. Now, these resources are scattered all over the map. They are literally everywhere. And you can go and send workers down to them, and they fly out of hangars in little bitty planes, and they go down, gather the resources, and bring them back to the city. While you're flying your city around and maneuvering around the map, you're going to want to assign workers to different resource nodes that you're flying over, and they will gather that until it flies out of range, and then they regroup back on the city, and then you can delegate them to other resource nodes that are out there. I found myself really enjoying the exploration and trying to find those resources and make sure I had plenty of the resources I needed while I was flying around and everything. It was just a really fun little aspect of the game that I didn't think I could have that much fun doing resource gathering, but I really, really did. It was really, really fun doing that. The combat and everything was another part of the game that I actually really enjoyed. You build defense towers as your first combat mechanic and everything. You build defense towers to defend against pirate airplanes that come and attack your city. The more defense towers you have, the quicker you'll take out the planes and the less damage they will do to your city. Now, the coolest thing that I got so far was the Great Cannon. This big old giant cannon that you have to mount on the front of your ship, or you can mount on the front or the back. But it's probably best to put it on the front or maybe off to the side because it shoots forward and you don't want anything blocking it. I actually had a couple of defense towers blocking it. It kept hitting my defense towers and destroying my defense towers while I was trying to shoot stuff on the ground. So the cannon was a really fun little aspect and everything. And there's a bunch of stuff still locked in the tech tree under the combat section, so I know there's probably plenty more fun tools that we're going to get access to. Overall, I had a really fun time playing Airborne Empire, and I really am going to be looking forward to this game when it launches later this year. It's definitely going on my wish list, and I will be playing it definitely here on the channel when it comes out, because again, this is such a fun and unique city builder that has a really fun little art style to it that I really enjoyed watching, and it had a lot of fun gameplay mechanics that just made me want more of it. So if you're interested in this game, check it out over on Steam, wishlist it, and follow along with the game as it continues development. If I get some more early access stuff to show off to you guys, I will most certainly be doing that because this is a little gem out there that I think a lot of people will really have a lot of fun with. Thanks for watching this little preview, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, take care.